quickly before I jump into the video, I want to let you guys know about something we're doing over on my Twitter, that being a little giveaway between myself and Elgato Gaming. We teamed up a couple of months back, but now we're doing our first official giveaway together, that being for an HD 6DS capture card device. So for those of you guys that are either interested in just getting into content creation or you're maybe already in it and want to improve your quality, Elgato is the best possible company to work with for that sort of stuff. So of course, if you guys want to get your hands on an HD 6DS for absolutely no cost whatsoever, check out the link in the description below for that giveaway. Very straightforward, simple, and to the point there. Very relaxed, no real rules or anything like that to go along with it. Just a few simple guidelines, but regardless, if you guys want to check that out, that link is down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump right into the regularly scheduled content. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about an update that came to World War II in a little bit of a surprising fashion. We knew that there was going to be a slight hotfix and playlist update to give us our daily orders and everything like that, but upon actually taking a look at it a little bit further, well, we ended up seeing that there was quite a bit of stuff added in. And so we talked about what changed during that in yesterday's video, but today we're going to be recapping Sledgehammer's full official push out of their community update. Slightly recapping a little bit about the stuff yesterday, but then also talking about some cool stuff on the horizon that we ended up getting notified by Sledgehammer themselves with. So that said, let's just start out with what we had yesterday. So again, the blog post can be found in the description below if you guys want to read on for yourselves, but let's start out with the recapping stuff from yesterday. Firstly, Domination 75 was added in as of that playlist update, that hotfix that went live yesterday. It's been a long time battle between Sledgehammer and the community trying to get that balance between Domination 100 that the community wants and Domination 50 that was implemented upon the very launch of the game. And so as of right now, we are sitting at that compromise, that Domination 75. Personally, I think it plays very well. Again, I know it's not something that allows streak spam, which some people would prefer, but it also is on the opposite side of the spectrum, a lot better than Domination 50 was that Sledgehammer had in place to try and negate that streak spam. So it's a nice little compromise, I think, here at this, and playing around with it a lot last night, I'm totally cool with where it's at the very moment. You guys may differ in opinion, but that's totally fine. Totally respect that as well. But the next thing they talked about was the weapon contract being the Sterling SMG. Now again, we talked about this very briefly in a video on Monday or Tuesday or something like that, in which you can end up actually now getting the base Sterling out of the Quartermaster for 5,000 armory credits, and you have the challenge of 30 hip fire kills in 1 hour's time frame. If you can do that, you get the Sterling 100% for free in that sense, and all organically based off of what you earned out grinding out armory credits. So that's always nice too, and again, kind of coming back to the point we made earlier in the week, I honestly don't know where they're going to go with weapon contracts from here on out, because we saw what may have been the start of a pattern of Winter Siege weapons being added in the past couple of weeks, and then we jumped all the way ahead to the newest weapons on top of that this week. So I don't know where it's going to go, but we'll see in time, but that's something you can definitely take a look at if you guys have not done so already. Then the next thing that they added in on this blog post was the weekend warfare being the throwback mosh pit. We talked about this yesterday as well, and this was something that was leaked months ago now, but was something that I was really surprised as of recently didn't get data mined as something that people flagged as coming up, because it's been in the game code as of this most recent update. It was only made active by a hotfix that is really just the flick of a switch. That stuff's already in there, but regardless, this is the pretty much same basic gist of any game mode you can play, all thrown into one playlist, except you now have the ability to use some throwback basic trainings. Those being Commando Pro, Danger Close, Double Tap, Juggernaut, Martyrdom, Stopping Power, and then Stun ×3. So a lot of oldies but goldies in there, in the sense of some of the most popular perks back in those classic titles in the Call of Duty franchise. They did this actually due in part because of how the community enjoyed traditional kill streaks with Blitzkrieg, so who knows what other stuff may be on the horizon for some stuff looking back and going to a little bit of a nostalgic standpoint. I think it'd be cool to see what else the future holds, but regardless, try that if you guys have not done so already. And the big thing also I take away from this is that we do know for a fact now this is only the weekend warfare playlist. It's something that they listed as going to be here until Monday, and when it comes back, I guess we'll see. That's something that honestly I'm really enjoying it, so I'd love to see it come back either in a full capacity or in something that is a more frequent release than, say, that of what we have with Demolition being a limited time only, because man, bring back Demolition, come on. The next big thing they ended up mentioning was that of the requisitions nerf that happened as of yesterday. If you guys missed that, that was actually a really big selling point for the Call of Duty World War II update as of yesterday, but their more detailed explanation now fully in the blog post came down to the fact that it's a really tough thing to try and balance out, because in some modes it's not really used all that much, but in others it's used all the time. So they gave the comparison of how TDM was really quite balanced and how that worked out, but in the sense of, say, Domination and Hardpoint and Shipment 244, it's there prominently. So they had to try and find something to balance out the high risk, high reward type of things, so they're not easy. So they ended up nerfing the values of the top 5 score streaks, which I'll put those up on screen right now for you guys so you can check those out. But in a little bit more of detail, if you go and play around a little bit, you might notice though that it's still kind of easy in some of these modes to get those. So whether or not they went far enough or they went too far, I guess that's subjective and up to you. And I'd love to get your thoughts down there in the comments on it, but that was something that was adjusted as well. And moving forward, we may see some more adjustments, we may not. I guess that's all for time to tell and for community feedback to slightly dictate. The next thing though that they ended up mentioning was the war bonds. That's something that I really want to let you guys know about as well, because if you like free COD points, if you like free stuff at all, no clickbait, no memes, no nothing like that, it's 100% for free up until the 15th. All you gotta do is log on, jump into Call of Duty World War II. You should have in your mail station 200 COD points right there for you for free. Then if you end up completing 10 matches, you can go back to your mail station and find another 200 COD points. And then if you end up signing up for the newsletter, that's something that will grant you 100 COD points in time. There's a slight delay on that. I was signed up for the newsletter before this went live, so then it took maybe about 3 to 4 hours after it went live for these war bonds to go live before I got that 100 COD points after that. There is a slight delay though. If you sign up for the first time now, you'll get those in the next few days, not necessarily immediately. But that said, you can get 500 free COD points for simply playing the game and just logging on. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to, definitely worth it. Unfortunately, I don't think that the 500 COD point bundle is there for the half off thing they were running. You ended up the first day getting 5 rare supply drops for 500 COD points. So it's kind of one of those things to encourage people to take part in it. But moving along a little bit further, the final thing they recapped was the weapon and hotfix tuning. That essentially just being for the shotgun exploit with the incendiary shells and the fire rate being essentially a jitter mod with that. But that brings us now to what we can look out for and the things that we heard for the first time now with this blog update. There's 3 big things here that I want to detail for you guys. Firstly, that being ground war. Ground war was something that a lot of people really enjoyed back when it was in the game for the Blitzkrieg event, and it was taken out at the end of that Blitzkrieg event, and we didn't really know why. However, this Wednesday, it's going to be coming back for World War II and permanently. So that's something that's going to be here to stay across the board. You're going to be able to play it from now until the rest of time if you end up playing World War II. So that'll be great to see that return. I'm hoping that we still also have Ground War, because that was a lot of fun as well, on top of just the regular Ground War mosh pit. So that's something you can look out for coming this Wednesday. But that's not the only thing that we'll see coming within next week in terms of game modes, because we have the introduction, or I guess return, of One Shot. If you guys remember back from Advanced Warfare, we ended up having a sniper-only game mode within that game, which was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of things that the community liked all in one, especially because back in Advanced Warfare, there was a really heavy emphasis on the snipers in the sense that a lot of people didn't seem to like them in the regular playlists. So gathering them all up and putting them all in one central location not only freed up the regular core modes of a lot of the snipers that people really didn't like to face, but it also gave those snipers in the community that wanted to take part in it a fun little game mode that was literally just like a 1v1 type of thing, but in a public setting and obviously with more players. So I'm curious to see how this will work out in World War II, because in Advanced Warfare it was bolts only, so it might be a combination of the Lee Enfield, the M1903, the Kar 98K, or the Type 38, possibly even on a rotation. I think that'd be pretty sweet actually, to see every single game you spawn in with a different sniper than that of the match before. That'd be really cool, almost as if like a sort of gun game rotation, but with snipers for a sniper-only mode. I don't know how we'll see that work out, but it's definitely something to keep your eye out for. If I were to guess, that'll either come Tuesday or for the weekend of Warfare starting next week, which would end up being very similar to what we saw this Friday with the throwback playlist. So we'll see how that works out, but next week that's going to be coming at some point in time. Keep your eyes open for that. Now, the final thing they gave us in terms of any indication on what we can look forward to is a little bit more in the farther future than that of the upcoming week. Unfortunately, right now there is no real ETA on this one, but it is the talk of the Master Prestige rewards. Now, for those of you guys that may be Master Prestige, you know that there's really not all that much to keep you grinding out the game other than trying to get to level 1000. You don't get supply drops every 5 levels, you don't get any super awesome unlock tokens or anything like that. In fact, you continue to get those unlock tokens that we have as a regular progression even though you have everything unlocked. So there's nothing really to keep you incentivized to play all that much, but they did firstly address this a couple of weeks back and now addressed it again, saying that we're working on some new rewards for you guys and want to make them special. While they're not quite ready just yet, we aim to have them ready for you for our next big game update. Thanks for your patience. So that to me seems like we're going to be seeing it in the next title update. When that might be, we don't have any real ETA. If I were a betting man, I'd say our next event for World War II is going to be within 3 to 4 weeks. It gives the time for Black Ops 4 reveal's hype period to kind of die down, and we return back to a state of normalcy in that marketing window for Call of Duty, and that'd probably be like right before the window of E3 when we start to see more stuff coming out. But then World War II not only has a little bit of content leading into it, but then also right after E3 we can start getting ready for DLC 3, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different ways this could play out, but I would expect it in a couple of weeks per se, not necessarily in the upcoming week or two in the immediate future. So that's something we can take a look out for. I'm really hoping for some sort of weapon variant unlock token or something like that. I'm just hoping that it's worth the grind for the players that are actually at Master Prestige and still trying to get to level 1000. I hope it's something that is actually worth the time of getting there, and it's not something on the smaller scale that people will just be like, well, I mean, that's cool, thanks, I guess. At the very least, I'd at least hope for every 5 levels that supply drop thing to keep going. That's the very least and bare minimum I would hope for. But again, I'm hoping for some sort of weapon unlock token or something like that every, say, 100 levels, maybe 50 to 100. We don't know yet. But that's just my 2 cents in from somebody that isn't Master Prestige just yet, so that might even be stupidly low to people that are already at Master and may value their grind a little bit higher. So that said, that's really gonna round it out. I'm actually kind of surprised that yesterday's update from Sledgehammer was so beefy. Sure, there was a bit of stuff that was just recapping some things that happened earlier in the week and some things that happened with the update as of yesterday, but it was still a lot. I actually wasn't expecting all that much, even in the sense of 3 bigger things already being addressed for the future of World War II. I was kind of surprised about that, but I'm definitely happy. So that said, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys really enjoyed out of this? Are you guys looking forward to Ground War coming back? You guys looking forward to One Shot? You guys looking forward to Master Prestige rewards being added in at some point? Or is there anything else you guys are really hyped for? Love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. But of course, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, make sure to drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II updates, best class setups, tips, tricks, news, information, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. And if you guys are interested even remotely in Black Ops 4, stick it right here on the channel because we're going to the reveal this coming week. So we're gonna have a ton of content coming for you guys with Black Ops 4. So if any of it interests you, make sure that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram as well, trying to get more active over there too. So that link is down there as well. But all that said and out of the way, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine is an espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.